Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog, which probably will be short. At least that's what I'm going to try to do. Don't always succeed, but it's another one of those days where I have to run out to an appointment. So I'm going to do some short items, including the main topic. But before I get to the main topic, these other short items, they're election news. They're good news if you're Donald Trump or a Trump supporter. First headline, White House Watch. Now, what is White House Watch? That's from Rasmussen, my go-to polling outfit. They started doing a White House Watch. I've been citing their presidential approval polls for a while. And by the way, he was at 51% for 3 days in a row a few days ago, and then he was at 47%. I think 49% yesterday, but 47% today. But the White House Watch is the presidential matchup, Trump versus Biden. The White House Watch is now being released every Wednesday around noon. So, quoting from the article, Joe Biden's lost ground since the close of the Democratic National Convention, and he and President Trump are now running neck and neck in the latest Rasmussen Reports weekly White House Watch survey. The new national telephone and online survey finds Biden with 46% support among likely U.S. voters to Trump's 45%. 6% prefer some other candidate, 4% remain undecided. A week ago, Biden led by 4 points, 48% to 44%. The former vice president has bested Trump in every weekly survey to date, but this week's 46% is his lowest level of support in any survey. The president has never earned more than 45% of the vote. It remains to be seen if he gets any kind of bounce from the ongoing Republican National Convention. Well, one thing we know is Joe Biden did not get a bounce from his convention. I think the Democrats are starting to get worried. Well, before I get to that, let me just give you one more little statistic here. I occasionally quote the betting odds. This is from the Real Clear Politics website, realclearpolitics.com. They do a daily average of the betting sites where people put their money where their mouth is, and they actually bet cold, hard cash on who is going to win the election. Now, if you look at this chart, you can see that Trump was ahead for a while, then June, Biden pulls way ahead, but now you see the gap narrowing. You can see today's results, and if you look at today's results, well, you look at the maximum, the farthest separation between the two candidates, and there was a point where the spread was a little over 24 points. It is now down to 7.4 at the time that I'm recording this. So 7.4, that is a dramatic drop. So you have this drop in the spread on the betting sites, and then you have them virtually neck and neck, only a point apart in the Rasmussen poll, with a full 2 months to go to the election. Plenty of time for Trump to make up just one more point, but in fairness, there's also time for the situation to reverse itself, so we're going to have to see what happens. But for now, I would think for Donald Trump, this is very good news, and I think, well, I'm pretty sure that it's starting to rattle a lot of Democrats, because Trump is going to give his acceptance speech tonight. I'm recording this on Thursday, the day before you're seeing it, and there's going to be a rebuttal from, you would think, Joe Biden, but it's going to be Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is going to give a rebuttal speech to what Trump says. The obvious question is, why is Biden not doing the rebuttal speech? He's the candidate after all. I would have to think that the reason is because Biden is too feeble physically or too mentally out of it. It's obvious every time you see him that he is deteriorating. They don't want him to give this speech, which is just one factor to add to something that Nancy Pelosi said just an hour or two ago.
I wouldn't legitimize a conversation with him, nor a debate in terms of the presidency of the United States. Now, I know that the Biden campaign thinks in a different way about this, but I thought what he did in the 2016 was disgraceful, stalking Hillary Clinton like that. I was disappointed that the press didn't say, go back to your station. You're not here. You don't own this stage. You have your own podium. She has hers. So I think that he'll probably act in a way that is beneath the dignity of the presidency. He does that every day. But I think he will also belittle what the debates are supposed to be about. And they're not to be about the skullduggery on the part of somebody who has no respect for the office he holds. I don't think that he should dignify that conversation with Donald Trump. You ask them any questions, both of them. Just take their own stage for any number of conversations about any subjects. Hold them accountable. What are they proposing? What is their vision? What is their knowledge? How are we going to get it done? How do they connect with the American people? Let that be a conversation with the American people, not an exercise in skullduggery.
She said that there should not be any debates because, well, her reason is, or the reason that she gives, is that because Trump lies so much that Biden should not dignify Trump by agreeing to, or I would say condescending, in her view, to debate Trump or even to speak with him because, in addition to the lies, Orange man bad. Trump is such a bad person. But it is perfectly obvious that the Democrats are afraid to have Biden debate Trump in front of the entire nation. I would also add that it's even worse than that because apparently with Kamala Harris giving this rebuttal speech, which will be from Denver, by the way, it's pretty clear to me that they don't want Biden to speak at all, even if there's no Trump there to debate him. Maybe he's even too physically feeble now to travel from Delaware to Denver. I am going to be very interested to see how the election or the campaigns proceed from here until November. I don't know how Biden can just continue to campaign from his basement, except for the occasional highly scripted appearance and then walk away without taking questions. It's also a bad reflection on the press because they are not demanding that he take questions. Now on to today's subject. This harkens back to what I was talking about yesterday about people jumping to conclusions to the extent that they riot and loot and burn and commit all kinds of violence without waiting for the facts. I talked about Jacob Blake yesterday, the Jacob Blake shooting. I said that we don't have all the facts. I showed another video that was taken from a different angle that showed Jacob Blake wrestling with police officers. We now know that he was tasered. He wasn't first shot, he was tasered, but the taser didn't work. And now we know this. Jacob Blake had a knife in his car when he was shot by police, DOJ says. DOJ being the Department of Justice. Jacob Blake had a knife inside his vehicle when he was shot 7 times by a Wisconsin police officer as he opened the SUV's door, authorities revealed Wednesday. The discovery of the weapon found on the driver's side floorboard, that's the side that he was getting in on, The discovery of the weapon found on the driver's side floorboard of Blake's SUV was announced by the Wisconsin Department of Justice, which is investigating the Sunday shooting in Kenosha that has ignited deadly protests in the city. Officials also said Blake copped to having the knife, but it's unclear exactly when he made the admission. So I had said yesterday that the police officer, how was he supposed to guess what Jacob Blake was doing when he opened the car door, when he reached into the car door, what he was going to come out with, because it was pretty clear he was grabbing something. He didn't look like somebody who was getting into the car. Why should or how could a police officer decide in a split second whether to shoot or not, whether Blake would be turning around with a deadly weapon? Could be a gun, could be a knife, but now we know that Blake himself said that he had a knife. So the officer knew that Blake had a knife. He was opening the car door. He was going in, reaching into the car. This is what I was talking about yesterday, about not waiting for facts. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Gotta run. So thumbs up if you like this video. Share it with anybody you think would also like the video. Got any comments? You can put it in the comment section below the video. You could also put questions, suggestions for future topics. You could subscribe. I love getting subscribers. But most of all, come back and see me again. I look forward to seeing all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.